All right, so we are here today. My main goal today is to talk about the updated blueprint that our team and I have recently updated, and it's in our second version. So previously we had a free leads blueprint that was pretty much a 9 step, and it was kind of overwhelming. So we tried to kind of fine tune it and try to make it as simple as possible. And so we're going to be talking about that blueprint. And let me just share the screen here. So this is the free lead blueprint. And so today I'm going to be talking about It's going to be probably about 30 to 45 minutes. I'm going to be going in depth on this blueprint. Okay. So for those that don't have the blueprint, go to freeleadsblueprint.com and you can get yourself a copy of that. Um, so let me make sure that I am streaming. Just want to make sure that I'm streaming and I should be good to go. Just wanted to make sure. All right. So why did just before I go into it a little bit, let me just tell you a little bit of myself. My name is Paul Kin. If you don't know who I am, or you haven't been following me, um, I am a local business owner here in New Jersey, and I've been in real estate space since like 2004 and started my own marketing agency in 2016, 17 around that time, and just through my own frustration. And so I enjoy online marketing, I enjoy technology. And so the reason why I came up with this blueprint was basically, and then at the end of the day, when I got started, right? And so it was always chasing leads, chasing business, right? And then getting the lead, converting them to a customer or client, and then working the business or working that transaction. And then it was back to the drawing board, and it was a never-ending cycle between that, getting the business, chasing, getting the business, working, chasing. And so at a certain point I said, okay, there's got to be a better way, right? There's got to be a better way. And so I looked at various different avenues, Facebook, social media. um, and so what really prompted me to this, which is pretty much attracting business or getting business through Google, was the evergreen or the possibility that somebody could find me online, and then basically they would come to me and they would either through online or through a phone call. And so that was really attractive. And so I landed on a platform called Carrot and Trevor. And basically, I followed his method with some of the things that I've learned through my marketing agency. And that's why I created the Free Leads Blueprint. And so, what is the goal of the Free Leads Blueprint? Number one, most importantly, and I guess I still have ways to improve and ways to go here. I'm not saying my business is perfect, but the ultimate goal is to build a big business, a scalable and sustainable big business. Because in order for you to have a business, you always have to drive business in and you have to service them, right? And so you always have to continuously generate business and leads. And so how do you do that sustainably? How do you do that where you're not constantly, chasing after business? Okay. And then the second part, I believe, is the framework of having your business come to you free. Now, nothing is free because at the end of the day, you have to pay for leads. But my main thing when I mention and when I say free leads, it's basically what can you do right now that will help you generate leads on autopilot later. Now, most of it is built around SEO, local SEO, global SEO, but there is automation, there is systems involved in that. And so, and that's what I mean by free leads, generating free leads. All right, so today I'm going to talk about the four pillars. Okay, and I just want to make sure, maybe put my chat session. Um, I'm using a platform called Melon app, and so I'm not sure if any messages that are coming from the YouTube is going to show up on Melon app. So if you are putting messages on YouTube and I'm not replying to them, I apologize. I will get to them later, or I will respond to them. So I'm not sure if it's connected or not. So anyway, so the first blueprint, let me show my the first foundation. Okay, so the first pillar that I'm going to talk about, there's 4 pillars, right? The 4 pillars, I'm going to go over them just quickly right now, is digital foundation, number 1. Number 2 is, let me see if this is working here. Reputation management and Google Business Profile. Okay, and then third is traffic to generate leads, and number 4, which is Authority Hub. Now, I built these pillars, and they're not, I built them with with to keep them in order as much as, so if you were building a business from the get-go, or from, it's pretty much, I try to put it in a way that it's kind of, you follow the pillars, the steps, but it's not necessarily, doesn't mean that you don't have to necessarily follow those steps. Okay, because there's many businesses out there, or if you have a business, or if you um, are self-employed, that you may have done these steps, step number 4, pillar number 4, before you've done anything else, right? So it's not to say that you did it wrong. It's just there to help you to kind of get you to do the things in order, to build it the way that I would have built it if I had to build it from the very beginning. All right. So number 1, let's talk about digital foundation. Now, digital foundation, um, one of the mistakes that I see a lot of people do or make when they're building their business is they would focus on marketing strategies or generating leads because that's what they need. But if you don't have the foundation built before you start generating leads, it will help you in the short term, but in the long term, it's going to bite you in the butt, because you're in essence doing the same thing, is that you're basically going through that cycle, right? And so before you even think about starting to generate leads, you have to build your foundation. You have, especially when it comes to the online space, and you want to leverage online. Okay, and so what does that mean? There are 3 components of digital foundation that I want to really focus on: lead magnet, email, text message, setup and sequence, and then your online presence and marketing channels. Now, every business, in my opinion, you should have some sort of a lead magnet. It could be as simple as a capture form, which is your name and email address. Um, but there's going to be, of course, you're going to have a conversion issue if you just have a form that says, "Hey, join my newsletter." Most people don't join newsletters, so there's got to be some sort of give and take. So basically, people will provide you their name and email in exchange for value. So they have to get something in order for them to get their name and email. Okay, um, and so that's something that you have to think about and build a landing page. It could be a ebook, something that will help your customers or client. It could be an event, a live event. So I'm doing a live event. Um, do I do I ask for your name and email address? Well, I do have a free leads blueprint. So I'm doing this live, and I'm asking people on this live to, if you want a copy of this blueprint, go to freeleadsblueprint.com and you can download it, right? So if I was here on my thing, let's see here if I could add a, let's see if I can add it here. So let's see if free leads blueprint.com, and let's see if that works. So there we go, free leads blueprint. I just did that right off the bat. So if you want to go to freeleadsblueprint.com, you can actually get a copy of this for your reference. Okay, I'm going to take that off, and there's also a banner ability for me to add a banner. So let me try to do that. So I'm testing this at the same time that I'm doing this. Free leads blueprint. Free leads. Free leads blueprint. So I add it, and there we go. Freeleadsblueprint.com. So that, go to that, type that in your browser, and you can enter your name and email, and I will send you off a copy of that. And so that is a way for me to capture people's name and email as so how do you implement that? Same way, create some sort of an ebook, create a something that is of value, combine that with an event like this, and then you have a way to capture people's name and email. Now, the next component is to capture, and once you capture it, then what? Now you have to create some sort of a sequence, right? Whether it's a text message or whether it's some sort of an email that we're not, I'm not going to go in depth on how to do that, but that's just a matter of setting the time, sitting down, and implementing that. Okay, meaning create a bunch of emails or follow-up sequence. The next thing that we need to do when we build our digital foundation, okay, is to create. Um, oh, now all of these online presence and marketing channels doesn't mean that I'm saying to go in and build out this all these profiles and then create content and post them. No, what I'm saying is to build a foundation, meaning go in there, create your brand, fill out the information on all of these, and just have a presence, right? Because what Google is going to do is Google's going to index those, and it's going to connect the dot on the online space, and basically, when somebody types in my name or your brand or your name, it's going to know that you are connected with that brand or business, and it's going to start connecting the dots within the Google ecosystem. Okay, and so this is what I mean by the digital foundation, which is pillar number one. Okay. Now, pillar number two, let me just go over here and look at my chat session and see if there's any. Hey, Alan, I see you're online. Thanks for putting that comment there so that I could see. So I know that it's working. The YouTube is the chat session is working because I actually saw it here. So I appreciate you, Alan. Alan's one of my client and customer as well, and so he is great. He does cartridges in Canada, in Winnipeg, and so he's done great things with his Google Business Profile, and he's really killing it in his local area right now. Okay, so the second pillar that we're going to talk about is reputation management and Google Business Profile. Now, why is Google Business Profile so important? And I mean, I could go on and on about why Google Business Profile is especially important for local businesses. Now, there might be some businesses here that have online businesses or e-commerce or businesses that are not applicable to Google Business Profile, right? But in most instances, I would say 98% of businesses out there are local, even though you may think it's not local, but you have the potential to serve your local market, right? And so it helps you with increased local visibility. Oh, thank you, Alan. Alan, you talk so you are very You talk such great things about me, so I appreciate it. Okay. Um, so it increases your online visibility, your credibility, because when, with Google Business Profile, you put reviews there, and there's ability to engage with your customers, right? And I think, um, when I look at the Google Business Profiles for some of our clients or all of our clients, they have people reaching out to them via chat or via Google Business Profile. Okay, and I just recently got a message from one of my real estate business through Google Business Profile just the other day as well. And so reputation management. Now, what I see a mistake with regard to this pillar that a lot of businesses are doing wrong, or not necessarily doing wrong, but just mistakes that I see, is that they're not implementing it correctly, meaning that they are not implementing reviews where they should be implementing, and they're not building their online presence consistently. And the third thing they're not doing is they're not asking for reviews enough, right? Um, Even if you're a real estate agent and you're only closing, let's say, a couple of deals per month, you need to know when to ask them, how to ask them for reviews, so that you get a higher probability of getting a review, and not just a 5-star click, 5-star, but you have to get quality reviews on Google Business Profile. And why is Google Business Profile is important is because it builds your local SEO, local your visibility online. Okay, and so how do you optimize your Google Business Profile? Three simple things. You fill it out completely, you ask for quality reviews, and you add photos and updates. It's as simple as that. Now, what's simple may not always be uh, easy, right? So as we know in the world of business, right, there's a lot of things that people say it's easy to do, but it's not. To execute, it's a whole different story. And so that's why, um, you know, agencies like ourselves, we actually execute it, right? And executing it not necessarily the right way, but executing in a way that's efficient and doing it right. All right. So examples of reputation management. There's so many different places or platforms that you can collect reviews, and so I've seen this with one of our clients. They were collecting reviews, they weren't collecting it in the right way, and it was being collected internally, and it wasn't there. He wasn't doing anything with these reviews, and he has a lot of reviews, and it was just being collected internally, and basically nobody was seeing those reviews. Okay, and because reviews build credibility and helps with conversion, because at the end of the day, what has Amazon, or for that matter any websites these days, there's reviews, right? Like books have reviews, anything you buy have reviews, especially on Amazon. And so whenever you buy something, you take a look at the reviews and then decide, do I want to buy this based on the reviews? I mean, you know um, is there, 500 reviews as opposed to 9 reviews, and if I had a choice between a a a product or a service that had, like, 100 reviews as opposed to 9 reviews, I would most likely, and they're very comparable, I would most likely go for the one that has the 100 reviews. Okay. All right. So now the next pillar that we're going to talk about, let me just make sure that I covered everything. Okay, is traffic. All right. So now that you built the pillar number one, and then the second pillar, which is building your credibility on Google, right? Getting Google reviews. Now going back to pillar number two, which regard reviews on Google Business Profile. Doesn't Am I saying to get reviews on Google right now in this stage? Most local businesses should be doing that, right? But is it appropriate? Is it appropriate to get reviews on Facebook? Well, if you're running and putting a lot of money in Facebook, and you're writing and you're generating reviews or generating leads off of Facebook because you're already uh, putting money into those ads, then of course Facebook reviews is appropriate, right? So it's not a one size fit all, okay? But most businesses nowadays should focus on Google reviews, okay? Um, third is traffic. Now, what I see a lot of mistakes here in the case of traffic is that, and I have 6 strategies here, or 6 ways to generate reviews. I mean, generate traffic. And what I see a lot of people, the 2 mistakes that I see here in this category is that I see people running Facebook ads or kind of like dabbling in Facebook ads and saying it doesn't work, or they put a couple of $1,000s into Facebook ads and not getting results. Running Facebook ad is a very complex and very you have to know what you're doing. And so my recommendation is I put these in the order that I believe is going to be from from somebody that's just starting out to going down the line. Okay, and this is now I want you to understand also, as I said before, this is my goal when I built this blueprint is for somebody that wants to build a sustainable long-term big business. Okay, and I didn't say somebody that wants to like build a business in the next like skyrocket and generate a whole bunch of leads and then die out the year later, right? um, this is a kind of a blueprint so that you can generate and grow your business for the long term. Number one is start building your email list and your text message marketing, right? Now more than ever, people are used to the text messaging as a way to communicate. um, I wouldn't say it's the main avenue, but the main will be your email, of course, and then using text messaging as a way to follow up. Okay, so start building your database, your CRM. Okay. Second is local SEO, and that's basically Google Business Profile. Now, building your website is going to help the SEO with regard to local, but it's not necessary. When you look at a search and when you do a search, local SEO will pop up for certain search term, but if you don't have a website, you're not going to show up on the global searches. So so you can still show up on your local search, but you may not show up on the global search if you don't have a website. So, but you don't have to have a website in order to be visible. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right. Third is events. Now, what I mean by events, it could be a YouTube live, a webinar, um, it could be a Facebook live, any type of event where you drive people and get them to, you know, to take, call out a call to action so that people interact with you. Okay. Let me see if there's any questions. All right. Um, let's move on to then. Um, Now I put these in order. Now I struggled with whether I should put global SEO or content marketing first, but I thought about it, and I would probably go for content marketing and video marketing. And that's really pushing out content and videos through social media. And now, would I recommend global SEO? Basically pertains to um, building up your website, right? Building up your website, start blogging and stuff like that. The only reason I put that before, and these might be in line, these number 4 and 5 can be kind of done simultaneously, but it takes, people think that just popping up a website, think that that's the only thing you do. It takes time, effort to fine tune your website, create a blog, create content on your website that's SEO optimized, and so it is a lot of work involved. And so I do think that you can generate traffic through content marketing and through video marketing a lot quicker than you can do with global SEO, right? But um, that's why I kind of struggled with whether I should put 405, but could they be done in the same time? So, and then lastly, number six is paid ads. So now, once you have some traffic these ways, so these are all various ways you can generate traffic to whatever your foundation is. What is that foundation? That lead magnet that I talked about in pillar number one. Okay. If you don't have a lead magnet, then you drive somebody, you drive them to a website. You drive them, not website, you drive them to your Google business profile, or you drive them to a Facebook group, right? So whatever that may be. Okay. All right. So then we talked about pillar number three. And then lastly, um, number four is your authority hub, right? And this is where you send all your traffic. Now, whether it's Google, Instagram, or Facebook, preferably it is your website. So when I talk about authority hub number here, I'm mainly talking about your website, because at the end of the day, we want your website to be the hub for your business, right? And what is needed on your authority hub, okay? Um, each page should have preferably 800 words or more. Now you have to, I don't want to talk about meta tag and all that other, technical bunch of, you know, gobbledygook that most techies, including myself, talk about. But there are these are aspects of your website that is needed in order to get searched online. But do you have to know about it? No. At a certain point, when you're ready to build out a full-blown authority hub, my preference, if you're in the real estate space, is the Carrot platform. Okay. Um, does that mean that does Carrot, can you build out other websites? Yeah, I actually moved my real estate, not my marketing agency, to the Carrot platform, and I'm not just because I believe Carrot is so easy to work with. So I decided to move it over. Previously, I was on Kajabi, but it wasn't serving me there, so I moved everything over. Um, okay. So the pages that you will need is your home page, about page, which basically talks about yourself, right? Testimonial page, which is building credibility, products and services. So what your niches or market or whatever your area. And um, so it kind of goes in line with your niche and area. And then of course the contact page, and then of course blogs. Okay. Now, um, as I go through all of this, and I'm just gonna repeat again, if you would like a copy of this blueprint, you can go to freeleadsblueprint.com. Let me just go here and let's see if I can show that. So yeah, freeleadsblueprint.com. Go there, download the blueprint, and um, and of course I will have uh, I'll be updating it as things change if I need to change it. Previously I had a blueprint that was like 9 step, and so it was just too much through feedback. So we decided to kind of compact it. And even this, what I just presented, it is a lot. And I mean, what I talked about, it's a lot. You're talking about um, many, many years of my experience put into this blueprint. So there's a lot of things to unpack in here. So hopefully in the upcoming webinars and lives, I'm going to be talking about a little bit more in depth. So hopefully you can subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and subscribe. And let me see if I have any chat here. See. All right, Alan, I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you on these lives as well. So hopefully you got something, you learned something here, and thank you. I know I set up your Google Business Profile and your phone rings. I know that. I know from um, from my clients, from people that that in my sphere, in my marketing sphere, that Google Business Profile is something that you do need to take a look into, especially if you're a local business. When I say local, it's not doesn't mean local to me. It means local meaning like your mom and pop stores and Alan, who is a artist, he works out of the home, um, but he has a Google Business Profile. His phone does ring. He does get messages coming to him through his Google Business Profile, and that's because he is consistent with what he's doing on his Google Business Profile, which is getting reviews. And not only that, I think we set up his reviews in such a way that he gets people's name and email address. And I'm not sure if I set up the phone number, but maybe that's something we should consider to set it up so that they get pull their phone number, but he gets the name and email, and he's starting to build up his email list as well. All right. Well, that's it for today. I went 30 minutes. I'm not sure if there's anybody else in here. If there's any questions, by all means, write your questions. If not, in my YouTube description, there is a form in there, or there's a link that uh, should take you to a form that if you want to submit questions for my next live, I'm planning to do this on a weekly basis. There is a form in there. I mean, there's a link that you can click and you can submit any questions you have, and I will answer them next time when I do my lives. All right. Until next time, bye now. Bye, Alan.